What's going on today, guys? Primal Sabbath here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Encore Big Convoy. This is something I was super excited about whenever they announced it. It kind of came out of left field, or so I thought, especially since like the previous Encore was Beast Wars Returns Convoy and the Green Unicron, and before that it was Godfire Convoy. So it seems like they're kind of going all over the place for this. But you know, I'm totally fine with it. I'm definitely cool and okay with it. So anyways, kind of looking at it fresh out the box, the shipper, I should say, still in the box. The box is very similar to the original release. Some of the colors are definitely a little more brighter on it, and they've actually touched up the CGI art here of Big Convoy compared to the original. And I do have the original here. It's going to be kind of hard to get them both in frames. So also this is more of like a, I guess sort of like a dead, like it looks like dead straw, like dead pine straw. So that may have been part of brightening up the colors on the CG model down there. But other than that, all the product shots are in the same place, but you know, of course, replaced with the Encore, as you can see right there. Again, this I can compare side to side, so you can see the differences there, but same layout for sure. The only thing that's different is the back, so which I think is cool. And also, well, I should go ahead and point out the differences on the front. On the front, we have the Encore sticker up here, and this box is, you know, like 20 years older, and it is slightly faded, but like fade and wear isn't going to do the color changes that's shown here. But you see no Encore anything. Also, this window, like where it was like a separate piece on these older boxes, it's part of this package, this box. The insert is also different. The actual background insert, I believe, is the exact same. Maybe this one may be darkened up a little bit. I'm not going to get the one that I've already opened. But also down here, you have Transformers, which I guess this is kind of like the Transformers Authentic thing that a lot of Hasbro packages do. But unique enough is that it's got the same, you see down here at the bottom, the 1999 Takara. However, this one just says TPC, where this one says Transformers Production Company. So not quite the same writing down there. Also, you got Transformers 35 at the bottom of that. Obviously, Transformers was only 15 years old in 99. And also, just to kind of like show off the back, the fight scene here, which you know, was common on a lot of the Japanese boxes. So that's something I definitely wanted to point out. I thought it would have been just a direct carbon copy of the original box with, you know, this added Encore thing here, but there are some differences, and for, I guess, mint and sealed box collectors, that maybe makes all the difference. But I do like that it looks very similar from the front, and you do get the color changes, which is cool. Now let's get the figure in question in here. I do have a couple of comparisons. I have 4 extra comparisons, as a matter of fact. Right off the bat, show accurate. Love it. This has really put me in a weird spot in terms of my display. Is how much I love it. As far as like quality, it's still just fine. I do feel like they used a more pliable material for at least the shell pieces, and it may just be, you know, I don't have a Japanese original Big Convoy. Mine's the Sonokung, the Korean release, so some mileage may vary on the Japanese one. Now there are some. This is definitely more like the Black Big Convoy, which I just reviewed, in terms of tolerances, tightness, the whole 9 yards. Like it's for as many times as this mold's been used, it's like there's no degradation. It's entirely possible they went back and fixed some of that, but there is no degradation. I will say, however, on mine, it was somewhere. At least I thought I saw it somewhere. I may have just missed it, but I wanted to say there was a blemish on one of these eyes. But now that I have it in some proper light, I'm not seeing any eyeball blemish. So really cool there. This is, these mechanisms actually move a lot easier on this one than they do on my Sonacone Big Convoy, which, since we're talking about it, let's go ahead and get them in here. So it's like, it's just, these are definitely tighter here on this Sonacone, and like especially the trunk. As far as on the Takara Black Big Convoy, which was not a Sonacone, yeah, these are still pretty tight, and so is the trunk. So that's something I do like that they actually loosened up, was this, because I want to say these pieces broke a lot on originals. So and even that, so I do like that. I do like that they loosened that up. But as you can see, the differences here, where he's got that fade, and he's got solid green eyes and more of a bone-colored tusk. The tusks are lighter here, and I believe they're painted, because I want to say this is maybe this may be painted too. I can never fully tell, but I want to say it's molded in that same kind of bone-colored plastic, where these would be gray, which we'll see in robot mode. Other than that, as far as paint apps go, you do get less here because this is going to be cartoon accurate. I do like the cartoon accurate where it's just the feet down here. But also on the original, you got the teeth, whereas on this one you don't. And I don't know, he never really spent a whole lot of time in Mammoth mode, so it's hard to tell, but I'm pretty sure he at least had his teeth painted. So that, I think, is actually kind of unfortunate. That's something I would have at least expected, was definitely the painting of the teeth. But other than that, I mean, for such a minor thing, man, I really can't fault him for it. So there is that. But yeah, like I said, just in terms of like from a quality standpoint, it's really awesome. Now, I was torn because on my US Showcast Beast Wars shelf, I have the original molds, I should say, the most screen accurate deco possible for my shelves. At least I'm working towards that still. I still need a Metals Rampage. But I was going to put him with my Beast Wars Neo Maximals. However, I'm also, I would then be left to like, what do I do with this guy? And I was going to put him on my Convoy shelf, which right now consists of MP38 and Encore Godfire Convoy, because they're both Japanese cartoon accurate, and eventually MP44. But I think this being so toy-like would clash with that. Now I'm having this kind of like internal crisis as to, well, do I put all original toys on the display and pack up the show accurate decos? What do I do? So anyway, I'm still trying to figure out what to do as far as that is concerned. So for the comparisons here, let's go ahead and let's see. We will get the Black Big Convoy back in here, and then we'll get let's get the Ultra Mammoth. And I'm not going to do this. I am getting the LGEX Blue Big Convoy, but I'm not going to go all in on comparisons like this. So this is the only time you're going to see that, but there we go. These two feature different molding, which I talked about a little bit in the Black Big Convoy review, but I'm going to go a little more in depth with it here, because the only two that are alike in this whole lineup here is going to be the Black Big Convoy and the Encore Big Convoy. From tolerance to hardware, this one has the same molding, same hardware. This one has different molding, less hardware. This one just has less hardware. So let's and you can kind of already see, and it's been a long time since I reviewed Ultra Mammoth, but like he doesn't close up all the way, and you can see kind of part of that. So let's get all these back out of the way, and I'm going to go through this tedious process of transforming all these off camera. Something to mention, if you haven't seen the Black Big Convoy video, again, go check it out. You're going to want to transform him the exact same that I mentioned with, rotating the waist. He's got a tight waist, robot waist, I should say. So other than that, that's one last look at him in his Mammoth mode. Again, like he just stepped out of the cartoon. Just a blocky Mammoth. So yeah, we'll be right back. Although one thing I should probably do before I do get this thing into robot mode, because I'm going to forget, and I know I'm not going to want to do this on any other subsequent reviews, of this mold, and they are coming. Best believe that. But he's got a third kind of attack mode. A lot of these, I think actually all the Beast Wars Neo toys had them. I don't know about all of them. Heinlad maybe didn't. Heinrad. I can't remember which one is which now. But yeah, Big Convoy definitely did. I want to say in the old review that I did for Big Convoy, I covered it. But in the event that I just didn't, this is pretty much it. You fold his, well, you're supposed to fold both of his ears forward, and then you essentially just rotate the BFG around. The trunk goes around back, and then I guess you close that back up, and you can have his missile launcher here, which is funny, is like the dial is on the bottom, so there's really no way of utilizing it properly, but he did do this in the show, so it's worth mentioning here, I guess, especially since this is cartoon accurate after all. So, anyways, there's that. Robot mode for real this time. Alright, so here he is all transformed in his robot mode. And let's go ahead and do comparisons right off the bat, because there's so much of a high note for this guy. I really don't want it to get kind of muddied up in just doing the differences of the various woolly mammoth molded molds. Ugh, get that right out the first time. That'd be great. So, okay, we're going to attempt to not drop the camera, even though I totally just did. We are going to try to get all these in the same frame. Realistically, I probably should have just compared with the original, but you know what? Hey, everyone knows I'm no good at this, so all right, kind of same deal here. Get some of this other stuff out the way. Alright, so here they all are in one shot. Well, for the most part, one shot. About as well as I could do. I have different ways of that I like to display the Mammoth and the Nemesis. I like them with the missile pods kind of forward, even though they're not painted on Mammoth. I just kind of feel it's more accurate, I guess. So as far as molding differences, there are none between all except for the Mammoth. So all the molds are the exact same. Nothing different. Tolerances is a different story, but mold-wise, all the exact same. Well, I don't know. I think I kind of take that back. I want to say, yeah, this is. I figured that the translucent bits were gang molded, so I would have thought that the arm would have been gang molded with this chest piece. Not gang molded, on the same sprue, I should say. But maybe it turns out that they aren't. So that's kind of interesting, just from a looking at it to see where everything is on a sprue standpoint. At least I think that kind of stuff is interesting. So there is that. But all of the other ones have the clear plastic on the arms. So where this is opaque, and I prefer it because it's it's more show accurate, and it's less clear plastic troubles that will follow you down the road. But for Mammoth, the one molding difference is the missiles. For Mammoth, his difference for all of them. And I'd always thought that, because I had mentioned bringing it up to Fun Publications when I got this in the mail, that his legs wouldn't, the panels rather, not his legs, but the panels wouldn't close. As you can see, let's maybe turn this around. The injection points are the exact same. You see those little dots, and even though it's not really focused in on them, it's kind of hard to see. But let's see if we can fix that real fast. Maybe. There we go. So you see the little dots there, and it's on this one too, there and there. So the injection points are the same. Or maybe they... well, that's where things are funny. They're on the opposite side on these. Maybe... Okay, no, got the... I don't know, let's see. Because this is going to bug me. I want to make sure I got this right. Okay. So... Okay, yeah. They are on the same... You just gotta... Well... So they're at the same point, but the stems are different, which is strange. It's very weird. But you can see there's this large, thick kind of piece right here, and I don't know if maybe this was just a mistake during manufacturing or what the deal was. But they told me that, that's just kind of how it was from the last time Hasbro used the mold. And the last time Hasbro used the mold, it was the only time Hasbro used the mold. It was the Nemesis version. But as you can see, the Nemesis missiles are the exact same. Stem is the same on both sides and everything. So very interesting. I wonder if maybe they had attempted to do that, and I mean they paid for that molding. You could tell that the Nemesis and the black Big Convoy don't use the same. It's not the same shade of black plastic. Like this is a matte. I don't want to say matte, but it's more gray. Where this one is definitely more black. It's noticeable. I should say that. So very interesting. My fears were that because the Hasbro version did feature less hardware, and that was the pins for the Mammoth Tonfa in here, and also the pins that hold these pieces. Kind of see it in there, sort of. You can see where that hole is. Maybe if I spin it around. There you go. There's an actual pin through that, and I'll show it off on Mammoth because Mammoth and Nemesis both share the same shortcomings. On Mammoth, oh geez, did I not plug that in all the way? I guess I didn't. Let's see, spin it this way. On Mammoth, there is no pin in there. It's just pressure clipped in, and I don't really like that at all. And also, there is no pin through here. It's just solid, and again, it's pressure clipped into there. So that was definitely my fears for this release, and of course also the blue Big Convoy LGEX figure that's coming out. So let's get this plugged back in. There we go. So definitely, those are definitely things I really did want to point out. So let me kind of clear all this off and out of here, and we'll focus on just the two regular ones. All right. So now that all the other junk's out of the way, we can focus on the two regular Big Convoys here. As you can see, this kind of bone color that I was talking about earlier, where we have yellow here, which again is anime accurate. He's got the chrome maximal spark crystal in there, where that one's just all gray. It's maybe painted silver, which I do prefer that. I already mentioned the opaque arm and the translucent arm. It is what it is. This is definitely more of a blue, where this is a much darker. It's kind of like bluish hued, but it's more black, really. You get some silver paint here on the thighs that's missing here, and of course replaced with white, where this is kind of an off-white eggshell color. This is definitely more of a bright white color. I don't believe that's painted. I believe it's molded in that kind of bright color plastic. This is actually the paints. Well, I said, hang on. This may be because this is molded white. Molded white on this one, and the red's painted over. But it looks like this is molded in red. This red's painted over, but it could be molded in white with the red painted even on the inside. It's strange, but it's possible. Let's see. Chest looks to be about the same. These are completely gray. These kind of headlight bits where it's just the dots are gray on that one. He's got a more metallic sort of head there, where this is definitely more of that blue. And again, gray opposed to silver on the crest, and then we've got gray plastic for the horns instead of the bone colored. The Mammoth Tonfa are surprisingly, they're this kind of off-white eggshell color, where on this one they are where you would think they would be white, they're gray, and it's a little difficult for him to grab onto them, but he does, and they stay there pretty tight. But they are definitely a gray plastic there. Let's open up this. So we do have some chrome on this release, which is pretty sweet, and it's definitely more matrixy. You've got a blue metallic center that's more akin to the Matrix, with a more gold chrome, where this is still gold chrome, but it's not as rich of a yellow in the gold, and he's got the red orb in there. which is translucent and unpainted, so that's pretty nice. I actually have not taken this out yet. Oh my goodness, that's tight. Okay. Easy to... Okay, there we go. It looks like that is indeed a opaque piece as well, and not translucent. It looks like it's a kind of white color, so it's interesting. We'll keep that out of there. So, anyways, let's close that up. Get him moved somewhere. I'm already at 20 minutes. Jeez, it's gonna cut me off, and I'm gonna have to splice video together, which I'm not a fan of. So, let's try to burn through this. So the joints tight, nice and tight, surprisingly so. Again, I was expecting loose joints. The connection here on these down here, they're not as strong as on the black Big Convoy that I have. But again, 20-year difference on the molding. No painted details in here like there was on, I believe, yeah, the original. Something I did forget to point out. He's got the silver paint apps in there, which is fine. I don't think those silver paint apps are even necessary. So there is that. But yeah, everything, I mean, like you saw the missiles launch earlier and all that other stuff. So something really cool that you can get his big cannon out here. And that will shift some more weight to the front. So we're going to adjust these knees. And we are going to get this. Again, this is something I haven't even folded out yet either. So, well, this means we're going to have to put the Mammoth tonfa away. There we go. And, oh yeah, something I did want to actually point out before I did that. So, I did not expect them to go full red on these pieces in here. I think that's actually show accurate. I haven't bothered going back to look, but interesting that they did do that. The whole deal and not just the missile pods. So I think that's pretty sweet. But I usually keep it like this just because that's kind of how he appeared in the show, unless he was using those missile pods. So let's rotate this up. He can hold his big cannon. So very cool. And there we go. He still, he can't reach around to kind of two-hand it like he does in the show. So you just got to kind of make do with your imagination. It is what it is. May have to get these legs back some more. Or maybe what I do is I get him in a power stance. I think a power stance will hold. So there we go. Come on now. He actually balances really great. It's just getting him to that point of balancing. So there's that. And of course, in the show, the matrix actually popped out of his chest and it plugged in. What's funny is I think it plugged in up here, but there's no place to plug it. However, you can, if you're so inclined, to recreate that scene in the show. Check out the Caruto fan subs whenever those release, because they have been announced, which is cool. I think I gotta rotate those up like that. But this will actually plug into these holes, which this isn't necessarily what these are for. These holes are here, and it's not the tightest connection, and I could do a better job. I got cut off at, but so you plug it in up there, and then they plug into these two holes, or pegs rather, down here. That's what they're really for. But if you want to recreate that iconic scene from the cartoon, I'm not going to tell you which episode it's in, but guess away, or you could always Wikipedia it or TF Wiki it, whatever. So you can do that, and it is very, very cool. I do like this, man. I'm such a fan of this Encore release. So there is that. No gold chrome on the eyes, which I'm actually super okay with. I like the yellow there. And this is what makes me think that, we're not going to get a masterpiece Big Convoy anytime soon. I think this would fit well enough with MP38. And I still think they should do a masterpiece Lio Convoy to go with that MP38. Ooh, that's something. Just now saw that. So we've got I think this is a new stamp, but it says Tommy made in Vietnam. I wonder. Let me set him here. I don't want to get the Sonokong out. I don't, because I mean Sonokong was released. I think that was South Korea. Yeah, so it is a different stamp on this one that you totally can't see. It says made in Taiwan. Ooh. All right. Now I'm curious what they all say on their butts, on their little tramp stamps. Let's see. Oh, we got us another different one. We got a. Let's see if I can manipulate this light. Made in China on his butt, his tramp stamp. And I'm going to assume, because I believe Mammoth was also made in China. Yes. Mammoth also has made in China on his butt. So let's play with some of this stuff. There we go. So interesting, very interesting. Looks like the Encore line is coming out of Vietnam now. So that's cool. I just assumed, I guess, that they were still making the Encore figures in China. I believe the Masterpiece line is still being pumped out in China. So very interesting, very interesting. Well, at least I'm interested in that kind of stuff. A lot of you probably don't care, but anyways, that's it for the Encore Big Convoy. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I certainly do. It's one of my favorite molds. It's, the quintessential Beast Wars mold in my opinion, and it's the coolest of the leaders, also in my opinion. But great release. I think I bought two, as you saw. Amazon Japan was $120 shipped for the pair, so $60 each. Not bad at all. Even if you missed out on the Japanese, sale price, I think he's totally worth picking up. I think at U.S. retail it is, oh goodness, how much is it? He's probably like 75, 80, something like that. I still think it's worth that price. I mean, I bought the Sonokong version for 40, shipped from Korea, so and that was without a box or anything like that. And it's a lot looser than the Japanese versions of the mold were prior to that. So yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions or comments, thank you for sticking in there with this long ass video, but I felt like a lot of it needed to be pointed out and said. So anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you later.